I recently did a text post where I mentioned that I'm writing my next book. I'm actually really focused on it now. So for the foreseeable future, I wouldn't be creating videos. That's updated slightly. I'm still continuing the book. That's definitely the priority. But there's a chance that the videos are permanently going to stop. And I mean permanently. This isn't just me sort of like hyperbole talking anything nonsense. It's like I'm looking at my setup. This isn't just about like content creation here where people just see what the the final draft. You get to see the final result when when I produce the video. You know, I don't really do editing. I tend to just record and then just upload. I'm not someone who can be bothered, to be totally honest, with the whole hassle of going through video editors and things. It's very rare for me to even bother doing that. It's too much for me personally. But what people don't get to see is how disruptive it is to sort of my home life. You know, I'm not someone who who's fortunate enough to have the luxury of having a studio room or even a big enough room to create what I do. I do this in a very modest home and it gets on my nerves, in all honesty. I get resentful an awful lot creating like this. And when I start adapting away from it, I start to feel a bit more at peace. I feel a bit more comfortable in my own surroundings. So I'm having to adapt a lot to create content, and I get sick and tired of it. To be totally honest, I've done enough content where I feel comfortable enough just to stop, and that's literally where I'm balancing at the moment what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get a little bit technical here, not overly technical, but I'm going to be technical enough. For a long time, I've been using my gaming laptop. So people who are used to laptops nowadays, you'll know you don't get a lot of ports. You just get like maybe three at the most. So three USB ports. I need a lot more than three USB ports. I've got external hard drives. I've got a microphone going off it. I've got a webcam going off it. It's like I'm using two hubs. Each of them has four USB sockets. And then the existing other spare one, it's a whole nightmare. So effectively, I've got all these leads just coming off my laptop, and I've actually for a long time not truly appreciated the versatility of my laptop. It's a gaming laptop. This isn't a laptop designed for production. It's designed to actually have more intense experiences, such as gaming, which is what I bought it for. And it did replace a desktop PC, which I've spoke about that I'm trying to rebuild. But that becomes a whole issue in itself. The cost of it, they have balance between the two. Again, I'm going a little bit technical here. I had a handheld gaming PC. People might have seen recently. I did videos on it. I sent it back because it was a bit too distracting and it was limiting in itself. I started to recognize that my laptop is far more powerful and it's almost as versatile. You know, maybe don't hold it in your hands, but you can just prop it up, and it just brings a whole desktop experience to put it in a portable mode. So there's actually no need for me to have a handheld. Um, So it's a bit all over the place because of how annoyed I am, how frustrated I am in my environment. You know, I think realistically, what I'm saying here is, unless I have a professional environment, it's a good chance I won't create any more videos. It's not an ultimatum in anywhere. It's just like literally where I'm at in my life. You know, I think I've done enough videos, and I have enough books to work on. I've got 3 manuscripts I'm working on at the moment. I hope to have one out by get the first one completed, hopefully by the end of November. It's a push. I'm not setting stupid targets. If it's done by November, great. If it's done by the end of the year, great. If it goes into next year, who cares? You know, as long as these get done. And I'm finding the passion's getting back there. I'm actually really enjoying sitting there and just working on it and creating works of art. What I consider works of art, to be totally honest. I'm jumping around. So I don't work in sort of like maybe a structured way other people work. If a thought comes to mind, I work on it. So, for instance, I literally just jumped to the final thoughts of the book, and I've done that because I felt there was a chapter in my head that I wanted to say, but I didn't feel it did it justice in just a traditional chapter. It needed to be at the end of the book where it has the most impact. So, and it was a bit more off the cusp in a sense. So, and I really liked that. So I worked on that. I was going to share it here, but I'm just going to leave things now because I think I overshare. I share so much of the work I do as I do it, and I'm thinking, again, it's a hassle for me right now. I'm frustrated as shit. What you don't see is the fact that normally my laptop's to the side of my monitor, my screen, because I have an external ultra wide. It's really nice, and I sit there and I'm just chilling, and it's to my side. Things are out my way to an extent. Right now, I've got a desktop PC where the laptop used to go. The laptop's literally right in front of me. I've got cables all over the shit. I'm struggling just to move the mouse. So you can understand someone that's like, I'm a bit tempered sometimes. That is irritating the living shit out of me, to be honest, because I don't like to feel confined. It irritates me so much. So there's no way on earth, if we talk about the setup as it is today, there's no way on earth after I've done this video, I'm doing this shit again. There's no way. I'm not sitting here with this crap around me. That's not even happening at all. This is a one-off, me sitting in this mess. So yeah, if I got rid of the tower that I've been building, the PC tower, and I put the laptop there, okay, we can go back to normal. I could do that. It's whether I even want to at this point, because there's all sorts of questions in my mind with the setup I have. So for instance, I've tried to do the videos. I tried to do a test on the tower PC I built. See, now my camera's going crazy. I don't know if people are seeing that, but it just drives me nuts. I'm just limited all the time. So laptops can get hot. That's really a problem, especially a gaming laptop. So that can cause some issues every now and again. So reliability for me when you create content is the most important thing. Of course, production quality, we want the best visuals, the best audio, but for me, reliability is the most thing. Anyone that's created content will understand this. Your microphone starts going crackly, your camera starts juddering. It doesn't matter how good the quality was. If it's not consistent, it's crap. And it's like, that's what we're bound by. So this PC I built, it looks nice. It's just missing a graphics card. So I assumed the integrated graphics chip would handle at least just me talking on camera. It won't. It goes mental. So the problem is when you max out graphics, for some reason, it just has a huge impact on the audio quality. And the audio will work for like 1 minute. And you go, okay, so it's safe. Videos I've tested, even if I did one video where I spoke for about 20 minutes because I got into it and I just started talking. And it literally was, I couldn't even share it. And so for me, if I put my time and effort into something, that better be ready, because I'm not happy to do things, do-overs. I don't do it. So I haven't shared that and I haven't recorded it again. But yet when I write my books, I can just write. I don't have to worry about all of this shit. It drives me crazy. So realistically, this big tower I've built, which I like, I can stream games. There's ways around things, but it's not ideal. Now, to complete the tower, it'll cost me about between £200 to £500 plus. So it depends on the level, what I want for a graphics card, effectively. Without a graphics card at the moment, it can only stream stuff like in terms of like gaming stuff I want to play because I have a subscription. But it's just wasting its potential, you know. But without the graphics card, there's literally no chance I'm recording with that. So I don't trust it at all. It's not good enough right now. And it's taken up my space for my laptop. Now, I've just tested the laptop this evening because I was looking to sell it. So the idea was I sell my laptop. It cost, to put it in perspective, I bought it off someone else on eBay back in 2023, so 2 years ago. That person had paid £2,000 for it, brand new. They had it maybe a year or so. And of course, like most people, a lot of gamers, you buy it as an indulgence. Then you go back to a PC tower because it's more powerful. Then you sit there with a laptop that's not being used. I think that's pretty much what they did. So I buy it off them half the price. I got it for £1,000. To me, that was good because it's like if I looked for a brand new one around then, they weren't as powerful. Of course, if you're buying something, you want the best quality, best power. It's Alienware as well, good brand. So I put it on eBay. There's a lot of interest around it. And I thought, to be honest, I don't want to do something I regret. The idea was sell the laptop, I buy the graphics card, all is well. The PC works, I get a high performance, it'll be able to do my videos, we'll continue where we left off. So it's getting a bit complicated, but this is what I'm showing though. I don't have a professional setup, I have a home life. And I'm getting sick and tired of eroding my home life to create content. It's like, there's a balance here. It's like, I'm not happy with that at all right now. Because I tested the laptop, I've tried it for a few games. Now again, we're going to talk a bit gamey here, but I've played Battlefield 6, which is new. It's a bit intense. It's a bit demanding on your system, but my laptop absolutely looks stunning. You know, a lot of people playing HD on laptops use 1080p HD. I think it looks blurry. It looks washed out. It doesn't have the detail. People that only have that, they'll make peace with it. Mine's 1440p, so it's midway between 4K, but you wouldn't want 4K anyway because it wouldn't be able to pump out that sort of level of performance. But anyway, so mine actually looks the equivalent of 4K. And it runs beautiful. I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6, 100 FPS. Anyone knows gaming, that's decent, especially on a laptop. That's what it's running at, you know. And now I've got used to having it on my screen, my desktop screen, where I did it external. That's what I used to do. Have a keyboard. I'd just treat the laptop like a PC because I knew how good it was. So I just tried it this evening. I got this laptop tray that I've never used. I bought it. It's just been sat to the side. I thought I'll give it a go, see if it's all right. It was beautiful. So I'm on my lap. I'm literally playing on this beautiful screen. It's vivid. It's fast. I'm playing Battlefield 6, which a lot of people are just into at the minute. I'm enjoying it too now. It's like I've done a video where I was complaining, but I'm getting into it a lot more now. Black Ops 6 I tested, and even Cyberpunk, which is very demanding. They were all running fine, and I'm thinking, this is actually nice. I can play it on my lap. I can have the telly playing if I want to have something in the background. And then when I finish, all I do is get the laptop tray. It goes to one side. It don't take 2 seconds to set up, which is what I want. I want something that's quick. Not all these USB cables running off my setup. I like minimal in that sense. I like the fact that I can just put it in my laptop bag. It takes 2 seconds, literally. Just take the power cable out, let it cool down just for a bit, and then put the laptop in the bag, put the bag by the sofa, or whatever. It's not even. There's no like hassle. There's no mess. Yet when I sit at my desk, I've got a whole room that's getting dominated. I've got a whole setup here. My desk chair. I've got other things in my house that irritate me beyond belief. To be totally honest, it's like I know there's a feeling, there's a need to feel like humble. So you appreciate what you have, but then there's also a practical side that's annoying as shit. Like for my house, does my absolute head in. To be totally honest, but you know, everybody has their limitations. This desk, the chair I've got is just, I swear to God, it's breaking. It's doing my absolute head in. It rocks and it gets. I'm not going to keep buying desk chairs. My flooring at home, upstairs, some of it's uneven. My bedroom, where I sit at my desk, I swear to God, where the desk chair is now, I think like it was the boards weren't the strongest before, but I think they're bending from where the bloody chair is. So now, if the chair is not in the right place, it'll feel like I'm tilting one way or the other, and I get really, really. I got like I don't know what I've got. I don't know, OCD or something. I don't know, but it pisses me off so much. Like I think other people might put up with it. For me, it's no go. I have to be level, otherwise I lose my shit. So I'm constantly wiggling around with this bloody chair, just wanting to smash the floor to pieces. To be honest, that's what I feel like, because I get fed up in my home. I really do. My kitchen's uneven all over. It keeps changing. I've had people out and no one wants to do anything. It's just a joke. Anyway, and my stairs are quite thin. So that gets on my nerves. I could talk about little things that trigger me. And the problem is this is like compounded. It's like I've got these other issues around the home that are annoying the living shit out of me. And then I have to adapt my bedroom, my place where it should be peaceful, for a setup that I'm not sure I need anymore. Like I like having a gaming PC which is really powerful. I love to have my ultra wide monitor, it's cinematic. I like to have this experience. But in all honesty, I haven't had a real decent night's sleep in like a year or more. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's because of the stuff I've got around me. It's distracting and it keeps me up at night. Like if I've got my laptop, I shut it down, I'll be in bed at a decent time. When I've got, again, you could argue this is self-control, but it's what you've got around you, you know? It's too engaging. It's too distracting. Now, I can't help. I've had the bedroom in at times where I didn't have the desk and I put a set of drawers there instead of moving them around somewhere else. But it's like I get really annoyed adapting a bedroom. Like I want a bedroom to be my place of sanctuary, a bit of peace, you know? You go relax. Instead, I've got this mess and I've got a freaking green screen behind me, which, believe me, I just want to punch. Because this is outrageous. I've seen people do their podcasts. I see people do their creations and they've got a literal studio. I have a bedroom. I don't even have a spare room. And I have a very modest bedroom. Like this is not feasible for me anymore. So the only way it comes to be that I create any more videos is if I accept that I have to have this green screen shit like I've been doing, and I decide to either to return a lot of the PC build. I can't return all of it because the case now I have to keep. There's a couple of bits I'd have to keep, but it's just that becomes a bit stupid. You either sell the bits you got to keep, or do you just make peace with you might build it one day, you might not. And then you just return the parts, which I feel I got good value on, and there's no guarantee I'd get that deal again, like at that price. Especially when I'm only one part away from having it working. But then it would mean that it gives me the opportunity, if I choose to downsize everything. I could literally just sell the lot. I could sell the monitor. I could sell the microphone. Because I'm not having this shit around my living room. I'm not doing that. You know, my laptop is for convenience. If I decide I'm going to go minimal and I want to use my laptop on my lap, I'm not pissing around with cables everywhere. It just piss me off just as much as the desk again, even more so. You know, it's my personal space. I'm not doing that. So if I decide, for instance, that I'm going to downsize, then I'd get rid of the microphone. There'd be no point. I'm not having that around me. It'd be just stupid in personal spaces. I haven't got the space for it. My home this isn't a freaking studio house, you know. And then in that case, the microphone, the webcam would go. If I end up doing that, I'd never buy it all again. if I have to sell everything, I'm not buying it all again. I would just make peace that I'm just done my videos for a period of my life. I've done audio, and now it's just I've done my books. I'm not someone. Effectively, I know I see it a lot where people just crave the spotlight. You know, they're desperate to be famous and shit. I see it all the time. You know, there'd be content where it would suggest that someone's going to be famous, and you see people just gravitate to the comments. God, I hope it's me. I hope it's me. It's like, God damn, I don't want to say get a life, but like get a reality check. What's so important about other people noticing you? You know. So yeah, I don't crave any of that. I don't crave anything. I just really just want a fair playing field. You know, if I create the content, it gets to the right audience. That's all I want. I don't ask it to reach every single person on the planet. And I don't need a pat on the back. And you know, with my books, for instance, it'd be nice if I started earning some money from what I've done. I've put a lot of effort in for years and barely received a penny. Like very, very, very minimal amounts of money. You know, I get nothing from my videos. So again, if I get nothing from my videos and it doesn't really reach a wide audience yet, it's like, is it worth disrupting my life in the process? That's debatable, isn't it? I just feel I've put enough time, enough effort, and I've sacrificed enough for too long for this to continue. So again, this is all up in the air. It's either going to be I don't create videos while I do my books because I kind of want that, especially the next book. I don't want to feel like I've done this and I've done that and I haven't finished the target, a goal for the year. Like I should be doing the book. So it's almost like if you want to do videos, you better finish your book. You know, it's like a bit of a, I wouldn't say punishment, but it's like this is how I get through things. You know, I force myself to do things, and it's like a mental challenge. And again, by the time I finish, if that, let's say it takes 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, who knows? It might be that I got used to not doing videos and I don't want to do videos, or it might be that I do enjoy doing them. I don't. At this point, it's all up in the air, isn't it? But a lot of it's going to come down to what I decide to do next. Do I sell my laptop to finalize this computer? Do I just keep the laptop? Because I'm leaning towards, because I had it on eBay. Well, it's on eBay, but I'm thinking of just deleting it straight after this video because I've been thinking about it all evening. Like I really enjoyed having those games on my lap. Like literally, I could just play them for like half an hour, whatever. It's nice. It's just not hurting anyone. You're just chilling out. I just thought to myself, these are working. These are like the latest games, and they still run fine. Like, there's no reason to suggest the next 3 to 5 years this laptop's going to be out of date. It gets hot, so maybe it'll burn itself out. I don't know, but I think it's got years left in it because I always think that if it can play everything up to now, then even anything that comes after is a bonus. So every time it still works, which there's no doubt, nothing to say it won't. It's still usable, isn't it? So then it's like, where's the value end? Is it worth selling it? So I could sell it to build the computer faster, but then at the same time, I'm thinking I could keep it and then just acquire the rest of the computer at a later date when I can afford it normally, which would make more sense rather than lose something that's really impressive. But then that goes full circle. If your laptop's doing so well, what the hell do you need that for? Well, if I don't need the tower, I don't know how long I want to keep attaching it to a monitor. Doesn't mean I wouldn't do that. If I sold the computer, part of me was thinking I could just put the laptop back where it was, and then I could just treat it like a hybrid, you know, like a Nintendo Switch. It's like just treat it where there, but get used to just having the cables at a certain space, and then just unplug them, disconnect all the cables, and then just take the laptop and you can sit in the living room or whatever with the laptop tray and thing. But you just get used to it being more hybrid than keep it a permanent. There is that side of things. But at this point, I'd say it's 50-50. It's literally 50-50 what I decide to do, because I could literally, as well as I could do that, keep the laptop, put the computer together over the next 6 months, the rest of it, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to afford it, because Christmas is in the way now. There's a chance, or even in the interim, I could just move the tower to one side, put the laptop there. So there's nothing to say I can't do the videos, but it's how much of that disruption am I really comfortable with now. That's really where I'm up to. Like I say, keep dragging this green screen. It's just stupid. It's annoying. And this floor's doing my head in, my chair's doing my head in. And it's like, how much do I want to keep investing in an area where I can just sit on a sofa? I wouldn't need to buy a new chair. I've got my sofa, I can just sit on and chill out. You know, the floor won't irritate me so much if I'm not sitting at it, you know? So there's all these layers, but it's, again, you see people have got these, a studio or spare room, they've got a game room, a production room. It's like, it's like, goddamn, you know, when is it my time? I've put an effort in. I do well. I feel I do well. I think I do good content. I think the quality is as good as I can make it in the situation I have. there is this other side I thought about. I thought if I took time away, because there's no guarantee of anything. You could say it's muscle memory, like you just go back to doing how you've done it, but there's no guarantee with that. If I was to take a year or two away from content creation, would I be able to pick up where I left off? I don't know. Yeah, no one would know until they've done it. I mean, I've done it in the past, and I didn't really have too much of an issue, but I'm naturally a fast talker, and I've said it so many times. I'm probably talking fast now because I just don't care at the moment. And I recognize it's important to sort of control yourself a bit so the audience can hear what you say. You know, there's a whole communication process here. And if I take a longer period away, let's say I was gone for 2 to 3 years, there's no guarantee I'd pick up where I left off. So yeah, there's nothing guaranteeing with one way or another, really. But like I say, I've got a few books left at bare minimum, a few books left to do, and that'll keep me occupied anyway. So it's not a case of there's nothing left in me to be productive. There's no goals set. Oh, I've got bigger goals than videos anyway. And it might be that I just get used to just being off the camera again and getting comfortable with that. You know, there's a lot of authors that aren't on camera, aren't there? There's a lot of authors that just stay in the shadows. Personally, I think there's more to me than just that, but I'm quite comfortable just to be that too, though. Like I say, I don't really crave the spotlight and things like that. I see a lot of people do, and I always wonder why. I often think that the ones who are potentially destined to be in the spotlight, I'm not trying to put pedestals here, but people that are destined to be in the spotlight don't always crave it. But I think those who are desperate for it, really, you would ask them, like, why would people know you, though? What would be you known for? I don't know. I just think they should know me. That's not a reason. It doesn't make sense. It's like, because it's about standing out and having a contribution in some way to society. Surely that's the whole reason to be recognized. If you're not contributing to society in one form or another, then what are you recognized for? Doesn't mean it's in a positive way. You get a lot of influencers, you get a lot of people just share their homes, whatever the hell they're doing. I don't know what a lot of them do, to be totally honest. It's beyond me. But they're contributing something. So if it's someone who is scared to be on camera, for instance, then how the hell is someone going to know who you are if you don't even put yourself out there? At bare minimum, there's levels. Yeah, I've probably gone off track here because I'm just my mind is so irritated right now. Like, I'm so fed up with lack of sleep. My sleep pattern's all over the place. Now, again, take responsibility for it, but sometimes taking responsibility is looking at your environment. And again, it's looking at your habits, your patterns, and then recognize, is that a hindrance? Because even if it's a case of, it's my fault at this and that, let's say it's an addiction. I'm not saying it is an addiction because I don't personally think it is. It's more of my current circumstance. But let's say it was an addiction, then if you've got an addiction to something that's causing chaos in your life, it's like you best deal with that addiction, isn't it? Eradicate it. So let's say my addiction was that I sit up late at night and I always do that, and it's like I can't control it. Then you have to get rid of the avenue that's distracting you, so it's no longer there. Like I said, I don't think that's for me. We all have home environments, like for instance, our setup. Like for instance, I live alone. I haven't really got anybody. Life. It's something I was touching on in my book. It's more like something I haven't wrote yet, but I was going to start writing about, and that's about distractions. Some of us live in distractions and misery rather than fulfillment and happiness. So we distract ourselves from the misery that we live in rather than invest in our fulfillment towards our happiness. And there's a truth to it, because that's what I was processing in my mind. Because some of the things I do are slightly destructive. I don't think so, though. Like, I don't think on a deep level it's destructive. It's just a distraction, which was what I was getting at. So like my sleep patterns all over the place because of the distractions I have in my life. Like I'm purposely distracting myself because I am not particularly happy in my life. I've discussed it a lot. I don't have romance, but I'm not someone that would jump into any situation. My daughter isn't home, but I want her to have free will to do what she wants, and when the time's right, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Finances are absolutely intolerable. There's issues with my home that I just, it won't be, to be honest. See, I have to rent my home, but personally, I wouldn't, because of the amount of work that it would need to invest in it. I wouldn't even buy it if I had the money. Personally, it wouldn't make sense because there's too many things that would need to be fixed to make it to the standard that I would want. Other people, they could probably just be fine with it and think this is nice. It's nice enough in the rooms though, because I've made them comfortable. But there's certain issues, and it's like they drive me to absolute mental. Anyway, I don't want to digress too far with this, but it's because it's the last video really for a foreseeable future. Like I say, even if I get an urge to do a video, I'd just rather write the book You know, so if it's a chapter that's not included in a book and I'm going to talk about something that's not in the book, then I might as well write in the book. And I just think that's better for me because it'd be cool if I've done, let's say I've done like 500-600 videos this year. I think I've done loads. I've probably done more because of other social media. But that's a lot of content for a year. Like, it's very consistent. But I'm thinking to myself, well, if you can get the book done as well, what a year that is. You know, and that's how I do. I always challenge myself to achieve the most I can, but not like pushing myself stupidly. You know, I wouldn't put that much pressure on myself. But I try to achieve my goal. Well, I would try. I always do achieve my goals, to be totally honest. It's just this isn't so much a big goal. Like it's not a goal. It's more of a challenge. You know, if I wanted this book done this year, it would have been done. It would have been done before now. Like if I was that determined, it's not like I don't consider it a goal now. It's more like a marker. The other books I did were goals, you know, so I got them done. They were the focus. But yeah, hopefully, you know, it all works out some way or another. You know, I just don't know. Quite honestly, I just don't know right now. This is all up in the air because I'm so confused at the minute as to what I want to do. I wouldn't want to sort of like start destroying what I built in terms of my setup because in a moment I don't like it and then in a month I do, you know. So I think realistically what I've got to do is give it time to see how my like living patterns evolve. If I don't sit at the desk, for instance, like at all for a period, then I can make peace with it going. It's not going to affect what I'm doing. But it would mean the videos stop because I'm not doing videos in my living room. You know, you've got to draw a line. I'm not turning that into a freaking studio. That pissed me off even more than the bedroom, weirdly enough, because the bedroom should be a sanctuary, but my living room is my sanctuary. It's literally where I've got all my physical media. I've got everything arranged how I want it. It's literally my peace. I've got like lamps. It's just like, for me, it's like my sanctuary, you know? There's no way I'm adapting that shit, turning that into a studio. It's ridiculous. I actually get resentful that I have to create like this anyway. So there's a chance that just because I feel that resentful for it, that I stop creating anyway. Because I can feel peaceful. See, I'm happy for things to come to an end. You know, I always have been. I used to do web design and things like that. I used to do my gaming channels, do things like this, and I'd never cared about closing them or stopping them. They still exist now. You know, it's just I haven't updated them in years. And it could be the same with YouTube. You know, this YouTube channel. It could be I spent a year or so building this up, creating the content, and there's enough content there that it can just idle now. It's fine. It's almost like that chapter's finished. That chapter can finish. I'm comfortable with it, you know. And it may very well be that that's just where we go from here. It could be that the YouTube journey finishes and I go off and do the rest of my books and then see where life takes me. Yeah, I really don't know. I think what it is, I'm just fed up creating in the way I am at the moment. I feel like I've reached the end of the home studio part of my life. I think that's what it is. I don't want to keep doing it like this anymore. Keep running around, keep dismantling. Either dismantling this, if you see it, I mean, oh, God damn it, it pisses me off. Let me just show. Let me see if I can get this. Let me pause it a minute. Right, as you can see, we've got a green screen behind me, right? This is so close to me, it's ridiculous. Because beyond that is the bed. It's literally the bed. So like, if I was to get rid of this stupid thing, you can see it's right behind me, you know, right behind it. I'm just having to. It's just ridiculous living like this. What I will try and do is just show what my desk looks like. Now, normally it doesn't look as bad as this, but we've got a tower to one side, we've got a gaming laptop here. But what I'm saying before, I could maybe move the gaming laptop to the other side, but that's because I've got a spare desk that's to the right. My bed, this is the bedroom, for God's sake. Do you see what I mean? Like, this is why I'm fed up, because it's literally, I'm having to turn a bedroom that should be a place of sanctuary into a bedroom/studio. It's absolutely ridiculous. And beyond me, I can be quite volatile like that. I can be like, really, if I get really fed up with everything, I'll destroy it. I'll just get rid of I'll just throw this shit away, you know, because if I get that resentful, because I could just make my home a place of peace and sanctuary, you know, like a place where I can just relax. It's like, why can't I do that? Oh, because I want to create content. Why do you want to create content? Because so many people need help and healing. And it's like I've been intent on sharing my personal growth, my journey, to help other people see that they're not alone, you know, and you can overcome this, you can overcome that. But to do that, I have to adapt my whole living space. Well, I think I've shared enough of that part of my life where I can now have a bit of space to myself. Maybe I can take this back now, you know, and I think that's where I'm getting to. I think that's what it is. I'm making peace that I think there's enough content to help people who want to heal. And I think my books will help too. So then it's like, can I now be happy for a bit? Maybe it's time for me to feel happy for once. That'd be nice. Anyway, I'm going to show this shit now. Right, so I'm going to show this camera now, but it's not going to be easy for me to do it, and it's a bit of a mess. So we are going to have to move the microphone. I just wanted to show that the microphone's there. It's a pain in my ass, to be honest. It looks all right when I'm sat here, but if you see it on video, you can see how messy this is. But I'm going to move it now. You ain't going to hear me because I'm going to have to move this shit out of the way so the camera can actually pick up the rest of the thing. Right, so I can talk. We'll move the bloody microphone. Well, I want to make a point here. Like I said, normally the laptop isn't sitting right in front of me. The laptop's where the PC tower is, but now the PC tower's there. Now, when the tower's all plugged in, it actually looks cool. And all the cables don't look a mess because they're hidden behind it. And it actually looks nice. It all glows up. It looks really cool inside that. But it's missing the graphics card in there because I haven't got one yet. And I can't afford it right now. So I've really pushed that price. I've spent more than I could bear there. So there is a side of me that thinks if you dismantle it, you can probably get a lot of your money back to do with the money, to be honest. Now, this screen isn't normally this bright. It's just the way the camera is at the moment. So don't worry about that so much. But like I say, this is right in front of me right now. There's no way I'm sitting like this to create content. No way on earth. So that laptop could sit there. But then when I want to use it in the living room, I've got to keep unplugging it. It's just whether I want to keep doing that or just so I can create, or it's just annoying. It's like, can't I just have this to chill out in the living room, have this built at some point so I can have a more premium gaming experience with higher graphics and all that and just chill? Why has it always got to be to create content, And here on top of here, the reason this screen's here is you can actually have, I can have that. It doesn't, it's moved slightly, so normally it's to the left a little bit more. But sometimes I use that as a second screen where I can watch YouTube on it if I want. But also the microphone goes on top of it. I mean, the camera. So my camera sits on top of the mic. On there's a little, you can't probably see it because of the camera settings I've got at the moment. It's a bit dark. There's a little mount. Let me see if I can get that. There's a little mount on top. See that? It's a magnet mount. So it just sits on top of there. This is my little camera. It's really cool. 4K, but it's small. And it sits on top of there. But then I've got to have that screen there effectively because of the really, I have it mainly for the camera mount. But this is the setup, and if it looks a mess, believe me, it is. It's just absolutely unbearable creating like this. Like I don't see other people creating like this. They sit on sofas. They sit in a studio. They have a nice setup. It's relaxing. This is not relaxing in the slightest. So like I say, I'm starting to think I want the laptop to be a laptop. I want to be able to use that as gaming on the go and in my living room. That should be nice. And then if I want to sit and have a more premium experience, I can sit with that. But then it begs the question: do I need that? Or you could just dismantle it all, sell it all, get some money for it, some money, like much needed money, get rid of the desk that I've built. Because it's only on cupboards, I can't bother to keep showing everything, to be totally honest. Oh, I can't. It's too dark. I don't know why the camera's coming dark like that. It's just two cupboards with a piece of board across the top, really, and then I put like this wrap on top. Proper crap. It's a mess. This really is. Anyway, back here now. So what you saw is that absolute mess, and then this is the after result when I put a filter over for the green screen. So you've just used this filter with chroma key, and it just removes the green screen effectively. And then I could use an image in the background, and it'll blend together, and it looks quite cool that you can do that, isn't it? But it's like the most basic way you could do it. I've got one ring camera, which is ring light as you saw there, and another monitor mount. But that's it. I mean, I haven't got this professionally lighting set up either. So, yeah, like I said, you get the end production, but it's like the mess to create that production, And, yeah, I think what it is, I just feel like I deserve better, personally. I think the effort I put in, I think the content I create, it just deserves better than what I have to create with, and I don't think it's fair, Like I said, it's not about being resentful or wishing other people. It's not. I'm not like that. I'm not a vengeful person. I'm not really someone who gets jealous of other people. But I just think things should be fair in life, And I haven't had it fair at all throughout any part of my journey, ever. So not only do people get, I'm going to compare it to this way, not only do people get professional setups where they can actually go and they know the production's great, So when you talk, you just know everything's taken care of. It's just great. It's the best quality you're going to get. That'd be a nice feeling. But then also they get to go home and relax in their own home, and not having to adapt shit. So I don't feel like the quality is as good as it could be, and my home is constantly having to suffer for it. And it's like I'm not doing it. I'm not prepared to keep doing that anymore. So like I said, I could be gone for 3 months, which is the period I reckon it's going to take to do this book. It might be quicker than that, the book, but I've still got the other books to do, so I might be gone just to keep creating them. Because I don't, I know I said some people crave the spotlight and shit. I don't really care. I honestly couldn't care less whether I'm in a spotlight or not. It's not like when you talk about like checklists of the goals you want to achieve in life and the things that give you the joy and make you proud. That's not even anywhere on my list. I'm indifferent about it. Whether people know me, whether they don't, that's irrelevant to me. For me, it's more like my bigger goals and my dreams, So and I'm already doing that. And then it's being able to live a decent life around that, so I don't have, having to keep balancing this and balancing that. It's just annoying. So trying to live a traditional life at the same time as create it. So maybe go to a 9 to 5 job. That irritates the shit out of me, because I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to do other sides. And it's like, that's exhausting having to keep, like, I call it like a double life, trying to live to 2 different standards. It's just ridiculous. That's where I get a little resentful. So that's all I want for my life. All I want to do is be able to create what I do, how I want to do it, and then have the financial means just to live a decent quality of life at the bare minimum. Of course, I'd love to have a more luxurious life. Who wouldn't? I'd like to go on more holidays, travel, have different experiences. Can that be nice? But they're what I want. And the idea, I don't understand why people would put like fame and celebrity above those things. Like, what's so great about that? Having no peace, having no. And I always say that if you're gonna be in the spotlight, you better be rewarded for it, because it's coming at immense sacrifice. Once you give up your privacy, like for instance, where you get into the spotlight that much, you can't really get it back. Rarely do people lose that attention span. I think you can if it's short lived and it's like 5 minutes of fame, like they say. But if it's more long term, it's like once the door's open, it can't be shut. So hopefully you're being compensated for that, where you're having other joys in your life to compensate for the intrusion. Anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling. This is probably the last people are going to see of me for a while. And when I say a while, it could be a while, it could be forever, to be totally honest. It might be that, just like I said, the books just come out every year, or it might be a period where it's every other year. It depends on what I'm working on, If it's something I want to do research in, it's something I haven't covered before, and it's testing me, and it's something that's making me really excited to challenge myself, then it might be years in the making, mightn't it? So it's just that I know I've got the next 3 books, and they're not years in the making at all. They're just months in the making, just whenever I commit the time. Then that takes my tally of books to 9, I think. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 3 more books, 9. That's quite a legacy to leave behind, isn't it? So I think when you think about like life in general, and you think achieving your goals and your dreams and things, I think I can settle in life saying I've done enough. If over 600 videos on YouTube, plus other channels, different content, and 9 books, I think, you know what? That's a success story in my eyes. And then, so how long do I have to adapt my home? Do you see what I mean? I've done it now. I think I'm good. So I can't say how long I'll be gone, or whether I'll return. That's the thing. There's just, at the moment, it's up in the air. Yeah, I don't know.